Hi, we're Beth and Tony, a British-American couple from the UK. We've cruised extensively as both passengers and crew, having met working on board ships as theatre performers.
Recently we sailed to Alaska on board the Norwegian Bliss and hope you enjoy this video as we're taking you through the main areas on board. Covering everything here apart from the haven areas as we sailed in a club balcony suite and did not have access.
The Bliss launched in 2018 and is a Breakaway Plus class ship. She is 168,000 tonnes and has 20 decks, holding 4,002 passengers at double capacity and a crew of 1,700.
We're going to start our tour up on the sun deck, deck 16, and we're going to use this pool area as a wayfinding point from here on out.
The sun deck is a nice wide open space with plenty of sun loungers available. There are also two pools on this deck, a family pool and an adults only pool. This is the adult only pool, and to the left of this is a small stage that's used for sail away and various other entertainment during your cruise.
Traveling aft from the adult only pool, you come across the Waves Bar, one of two bars here on the sun deck. Directly behind the Waves Bar you will find the aft elevator and stairs, which is where you'll find the Mandara Spa and Salon and the Pulse Fitness Center.
The Mandara Spa is split into three sections. There is the regular beauty salon, which is nice and light with big windows. The main part of the spa, which we didn't visit on this occasion. And also a barber shop.
Coming back out to the sun deck on deck 16, we have the family pool, which is right next to the Aqua Racer slides. And underneath these slides is the kids' aqua park.
The other water slides and the more exciting ones, the ocean loop that goes over the ocean, can be found on the other side of the ship and up one deck on deck 17.
This slide is not for the faint of heart. It actually goes over the side of the ship and hangs over the water and is also open at night.
And just above that on deck 18 you find the Norwegian Bliss Speedway. This is a very popular activity on board, so make sure you book early.
The Norwegian Bliss version of the Speedway is actually on two levels, the higher of which is actually on deck 19.
Heading back down to deck 17, at the aft of the ship you have Spice H2O, which is the adult-only section of the ship. In this relaxing adult-only space there is a small bar, a small stage and a couple of hot tubs. Heading back inside, also on deck 17, you'll find Le Bistro, which is one of the many specialty dining restaurants on board. This is one of the smaller restaurants, but it has great views from the window and fantastic French food.
If that's too fancy for you, on the opposite side on deck 17 is the American Diner. This is not specialty dining. You don't have to pay extra or book in advance. You just turn up, and if there's a waiting list, then they give you a pager.
This restaurant is partially outside, but there are heaters if you're cruising in Alaska, and of course you wouldn't need these in warmer climates.
Heading out of the American Diner on deck 17 and traveling forward, you pass the Ocean Loops slide entrance on your right. And you take the stairs back down to the sun deck on deck 16, which is where you'll find the Surf Bar, the second of two bars on the sun deck. Just inside from the surf bar and past this rather scary looking moose is the Garden Cafe, the the buffet of the Norwegian Bliss.
When you arrive in the buffet, there are stations to wash your hands, and then you immediately come across the drinks machines. These are included in your cruise fare, and there's a variety of things to choose from: juices in the morning, lemonades and iced tea. There is also free tea and coffee facilities here, and sachets for things like hot chocolates, if that's what you would like to enjoy. There are a number of different seating areas. You have this section along the sides of the ship with booths and tables, and some other seating areas that we'll show you later on in the vlog. The buffet is open for breakfast, lunch and dinner, although it does close between 3 and 5, so they can make the change from lunch to dinner service. At least those were the hours that operated on our cruise. Yours might be different, so do check.
There are several omelette stations where you can have fresh omelets made to order. In fact, all of the sections repeat as you go around the buffet, so you don't have to queue up as long as you may otherwise. Here in the center of the buffet, you have a different seating section with higher chairs and higher tables.
If you head through the buffet to the very back, you will actually be at the very front of the ship, at the bow of the ship, and there is this seating area which has fantastic views out over the ocean and looks down on the observation lounge below. There is also a bar back here should you wish to order a drink.
One of the highlights of the buffet, which was consistently good, was the Indian section. Sometimes, particularly on a sea day in peak hours, there wasn't anywhere to sit inside, but fear not, there's plenty of seating outside on the decks, and these do have outdoor heaters above you in the ceiling. There's even a drink station on the deck.
If the thought of all that food makes you want to exercise, the jogging track is clearly marked and on deck 17.
And there's also very popular hot tubs along the jogging track on this deck 17.
Heading again to the front of the ship and up 2 decks to deck 19, you'll find a sun deck. You will also find the Vibe Beach Club and access to the laser tag.
This part is quite tucked away, and there are hot tubs up there should you wish.
Although there is a fee to enter the Vibe Beach Club, the small bar outside and some of the seating and sun lounges, which seem a little nicer than the ones on the lower deck, seem to be free to use.
But not free to use is up the highest part of the ship on deck 20, the laser tag. This gets very busy, especially on sea days, so make sure you book well in advance via your Norwegian app. Whether you're playing laser tag or not, there are some stunning views this high on the ship, and if laser tag isn't quite to your speed, there are ping pong tables just below.
Back to the sun deck and the forward elevators and staircase, and down 1 deck to deck 15, you come across the observation lounge, which is a real highlight of the Bliss. This is a large area that wraps around the entire front of the ship, offering stunning floor-to-ceiling windows and places to relax. There are also food and drink available throughout the day. There's some lighter, healthier snacks available, some small pastries, and they even have scones or scones, depending what you say, and jam and cream available if you want to make yourself an afternoon tea. Very British.
There are actually 3 food and drink stations in the observation lounge, one on the starboard side, one on the port side, and one all the way to the front.
There is also a fully stocked bar and space for entertainment.
Almost everywhere you turn, there are lamps, and on the table lamps are USB charging points.
Located on deck 9, you will find the ship's medical centre. Now hopefully you won't need to use this on board, but it is large and accessible if you do need it. There is also a vending machine outside, so you can purchase small pharmaceutical items 24 hours a day.
The decks in between the observation lounge and the medical center are all passenger cabins, so we're going to take the elevators or the lifts down to deck 8.
On the starboard side, at the front of the ship, you will come across Food Republic. This is an Asian fusion restaurant where you order your choices on tablets and it's brought directly to you. This is a specialty dining restaurant.
There are plenty of tables in Food Republic, but if they're full, you can go up and eat at the actual sushi bar itself.
Directly opposite from Food Republic, on the port side of the ship, you have the District Brew House. This is an adult-only area specialising in craft beers and various other adult beverages.
Headed midship from the district, you come across the middle of the ship, referred to on the Norwegian Bliss as 678 Ocean Place, covering decks 6, 7, and 8. First, we come across the Cellars Wine Bar.
Situated behind the cellars is La Cucina, which is the Italian specialty restaurant on board.
Directly opposite the Cellars and La Cucina is the Cavern Club. This is based on the original Cavern Club in Liverpool, where the Beatles got their start. It's a small music venue, so it's advised to come early, especially when the Beatles tribute band is playing, who we saw on our cruise, and they were excellent.
Next door to the Cavern Club, you will find the Maltings, which is the ship's whiskey bar. However, you don't need to be a whiskey drinker to enjoy a drink here, and it's very nice to sit at any time during the day.
Tucked away behind the Maltings is the Humidor, which is a cigar lounge and cigarette smoking lounge.
As you leave the Maltings and head towards the middle of the ship, you can see the chandelier, which is the centre point of this area, and to the right, the Mojito Bar Sugar Canes.
On our cruise, this was quite a lively bar with live Latin music and dancing, even though there's not a lot of space for it. Passengers were up on their feet all the time.
Directly across from here, you will find Ocean Blue, which is the fish specialty dining restaurant. We ate here on our first evening and really enjoyed it.
Coming out of Ocean Blue and turning left, you come to the Tradewinds tax and duty-free zone, the shops, starting with Tide's Boutique. There's lots of designer brands in here for you to look at and possibly even buy, if the budget allows.
Sandbar features Norwegian Cruise Line merchandise, items specific to your sailing. For us it was Alaskan goods. You can also buy bottles of alcohol, which you cannot collect until the end of the cruise.
The final shop in this area is the photo gallery. You can buy photographic equipment, but the main purpose of it is to choose and purchase the photographs taken by the photographers on your cruise. We ended up doing this, and we're really glad we did. We did not get a towel animal frame though, and they don't have towel animals on the Norwegian Bliss, at least not at the moment. Have you had any? Let us know in the comments below. Before we leave the Tradewinds area, let's have one more look down the center of the ship. Here you can see decks 7 and 6. We'll get to all those very soon.
At the very back of the ship on deck 8, past the aft elevators, you have 2 specialty dining, Los Lobos and the very popular Cagney's Steakhouse. This is a beautiful area, very nice to enjoy a specialty dining meal. The bar in the centre is called the A-List Bar, and it has all the glitz and glamour you would expect from somewhere called the A-List Bar.
To the right of the A-List Bar is Cagney's Steakhouse itself.
And moving across to the other side of the A-List Bar is the Mexican-themed Los Lobos.
After your meal at Los Lobos or Cagney's, if you want a second dessert, there's always the bake shop, which is right around the corner in an area called the Waterfront. The bake shop is partially indoors and partially outdoors. The indoor section is for cakes. And the outdoor section is for ice cream. They even have a little outdoor seating area for you to enjoy your dessert al fresco.
This outside area is part of the Waterfront, which is a fantastic outdoor deck space that wraps around pretty much the whole of deck 8. Accessible from both sides of the ship, you have wonderful places to get fantastic views. There are also some fantastic areas to sit and relax with a drink or a book. And several of the specialty dining even extends out here, so you can enjoy your specialty dining al fresco. How fantastic is that? We think that's wonderful. The back of the ship, the aft, is fabulous for spectacular views and photographs, and the wake view is fairly spectacular too.
Rounding the corner on the aft of the ship, you come across the outdoor seating for Los Lobos. Those are free to use, by the way. Very useful in Alaska for whale watching. The outdoor seating for Ocean Blue. And even an outdoor bar connected to the Cavern Club. Here they also show sports on the outdoor televisions.
The deck doesn't continue around the front of the ship, so you have to nip through past Food Republic and out the other side past the brew house to get round to the other side of the waterfront, where you'll find the outside area for La Cucina.
Our last stop on this little outdoor lap around the ship on deck 8 is the outdoor seating for Sugarcane Bar.
Heading back inside, going down to deck 7 and all the way to the front of the ship, you come across the Bliss Theatre. This is an excellent modern theatre, fully functioning and able to cope with the big shows it has, such as Jersey Boys. Well worth a visit.
Just outside the Bliss Theatre on deck 7 is the local Bar and Grill. This is the only food eatery that is open 24 hours on the Norwegian Bliss, serving breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and of course, being a bar and grill, drinks.
There is seating here looking down at the atrium below, so you can watch and enjoy the entertainment while you eat.
The theming in the local is that of a British pub, and if you look up at the light fixtures, they are in the shape of top hats and bowler hats. As the local wraps around back towards the Bliss Theatre, you come across a small arcade with some video games, claw machines, and, first time we've ever seen this at sea, a very small bowling alley. This is an extra charge payable right on site with the keycard from your room.
As you step out of the local, you step into the Norwegian Bliss's casino. This is a relatively large casino at sea, spanning both sides of the central area.
Coming through to the far side of the casino, you find the Skyline Bar.
The smoking area seems fairly large as well, and it is behind doors, so it doesn't impact the non-smokers in the main area of the casino.
Leaving the casino, finally, you come to the aft elevators and the Manhattan Room, one of your main dining room included restaurants. This is the largest of the three main dining rooms. The decor is Art Deco, 1920s and 30s, and it has a very, very large back section which overlooks the wake of the ship.
Taking the stairs down to deck 6, we may be leaving the Manhattan behind, but we come across the other two main dining rooms on board the Bliss, Taste and Savour, and in the middle of those, the Mix Bar. The decor may be different in all three dining rooms, but the menu is the same in each of them. Reservations aren't necessary, but they are recommended, and if you do come at a busy time, you'll be given a pager which will beep when it's time for you to return and your table is ready.
Apart from your dinner every night, Taste and Savor are open for lunch and for breakfast on certain days, so check your daily program.
From here you head through the art gallery and into midship and the heart of Ocean Place 678.
Here is where you will find yet another specialty dining, the Japanese-themed teppanyaki.
On Embarkation Day, this was the place to come if you wanted to make reservations for any of the specialty dining on board.
Next door to teppanyaki is Coco's, a sweet shop where you can buy, well, lots of sweets, treats, and crepes.
Across from Coco's is The Social. This is a busy venue used for lots of different things. Stand-up comedy, art auctions, late-night discos, silent discos, you name it, they do it in there.
Coming out of The Social and turning left, you come across the main atrium, which we last saw from above. This is the atrium bar. The Internet Cafe, where you can go online or have them troubleshoot your device for going online while on board. They even have a printer if you need to print your travel documents. And the main part of the atrium, with a giant screen.
In this area you will also find the Shore Excursion desk should you wish to book any tours, the onboard credit desk, and finally guest services. There's also a Starbucks. Once you have your Starbucks in hand, you can visit the Cruise Next desk and book your next cruise.
Throughout your cruise, there's photographers taking photos of you and your family. But if you want a photo session, you can book it in at Perspectives, which is on the other side from Starbucks of the main atrium. Just past this, there are some meeting rooms if you are on board for a corporate event. And across from those is the library and the card room. Great if you just need a quiet moment.
From here we make our way to the final specialty dining on board, Q Texas Smokehouse.
Going along with the theming, there is a stage on which there is a band that plays primarily country and western music. At least there was on our cruise.
Taking the elevator or lift down to deck 5, we come to the children and teens area on board the ship.
The first club you come across is Entourage for 13 to 17-year-old passengers. Last here is the video arcade, where you can pay per play or buy a package where you can play unlimited times throughout your cruise.
Younger passengers between the ages of 3 and 13 can enjoy the Splash Academy. And for our youngest passengers, there's the Guppies Nursery.
Whether you've sailed on the NCL Bliss yourself, are thinking about it, or have a cruise already planned, we hope you found this tour useful. If you have, please give this video a like. It will really help us out.
We'd love to hear your comments on what you're looking forward to or what you enjoyed most about the Bliss. And we'd really love it if you would subscribe and join our growing community of like-minded travellers.
Don't miss our upcoming daily vlog series on board the NCL Bliss in Alaska, and we'll see you next time.